Japan Journal, the internet's #1 English language weekly online cybercast from Japan. Japan Journal with Mal Adams.
Rap About It with Mal Adams. Each week, Rap About It focuses on a key issue concerning American minorities. This series also explores current and topical news events in an effort to bring into sharper focus the implications of these events for the minority community. And now your host, Mal Adams.
All righty. Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Rap About It with Mal Adams here on Japan Journal, the internet's #1 weekly English language online cybercast from Japan. Japan Journal here, coming to you from beautiful downtown Kakigawa City. You can see in the background there, this is the western end of Shizuoka Prefecture in the center of the Japanese archipelago, and I can see Mount Fuji from the veranda of this studio. That's an enhanced green screen image, don't get it twisted, but nothing but tea fields surrounding me here. That's why we're in the tea business. And it's all about tea and health and nutrition and herbal essence today, because I have as my guest the one and only, the heavy horse, my brother from another from another mother, Russell Harrison in the house. What's up, boy?
My man, it's great to be here.
Man, listen, that's right.
So glad to see you here, brother. And my man, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time, man. I see you got your nephew in the background giving us some applause. Don't tell him, don't worry, we're gonna post-produce. I'm gonna put some applause in here right about here.
Okay. Yeah, because Mal, you know I paid him, you know.
Yeah, I know he's well paid if he's up there with you. Man, my brother, 45 years, something like that?
Yeah, 46 years that I've been doing this, yes.
And I've been in Japan 46 years. So that's a long time.
Long time.
We've been separated, brother, but we've, let me just get your introduction here, man. Let me share with my viewers, because we're going global. We're in Ethiopia. We're in Brazil. We're in Tanzania and Zanzibar. I just hooked that up on my last trip to Omaha in Germany. I met a brother from Zanzibar, so we'll make that trip and take some product, you know?
All right. Sounds good to me.
This is all about introducing you, my brother, who I've known for years. And to those of you who don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that we know that are already hip. But I'm gonna bring the best out of you. We're going to share some stuff perhaps they've never seen, you know what I'm saying, or heard. And so...
Sure.
Today, what I'd like to do here initially is just share your background with it. Let me read this this bio. It says, Russell Harrison was born at Harlem Hospital in Harlem, New York on August 12, 1949. Russell is the fourth of 6 children and the first male born to Ann Ruth and James Harrison. After attending PS 197 on 125th and 5th Avenue in Harlem, Russell's family moved to Omaha, Nebraska after graduating 6th grade. He attended Horace Mann Junior High School from 7th to 9th grade. That's where we hooked up in 7th grade, right?
And the only brother that welcomed me to the school. I walked in the first day with a black iridescent suit on, clean, and cleaner than the finest doctor walking.
Man,
and everybody laughed at me.
Yeah, man.
But then I started to look around and everybody had on coveralls and overalls.
That's all, boy. See, get out my head. That's exactly what I was gonna say. You were too cool for school.
Too cool.
Too cool for school. And I said, and I was a little guy at that time, you know, but
yeah.
And you know, I avoided a lot of fights because I had that gift of gab. I could tell a joke and talk about your mama, and they'd all boo you, and you know.
Right.
But when I met you, I said, oh, I got a bodyguard now. Big brother Russell. So look, 7th grade, 9th grade horseman. So this is when you began to play organized sports and saw your talent as a running back and found an interest in the arts. Now, when we talk about arts, what are we talking about? Jazz, music?
Yeah, the jazz. My sister turned me on to jazz. I was in the rock and roll thing, and I wasn't. You see, I never went to football camp, or I was not even a member of the boys club. I wasn't into that. I was just into my family, just dealing with my family, my brothers and sisters, and just trying to get adjusted to Omaha. Because when you leave New York, Harlem, and you come to Omaha, it's a strange sensation, man. And even every day I had to deal with some kind of negativity, but where I was from, I knew how to handle myself, so I didn't have to deal with too much bullying and stuff like that because I knew how to handle myself.
You come from Harlem. We want to talk about that too.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We don't want to go there. So yeah. So
hold on. Let me. I got a lot more to share, so then we can bounce back. So you were a natural in football, and as you say, you just discovered that when you got to Omaha. That's good because you probably didn't have no. You probably didn't have no. You probably didn't have no competition or physical counterpart as a young brother, big strong dude coming in 7th grade, man.
But see, this is the thing, man. Now I never knew nothing about my size. I thought I was like everybody else.
Okay.
Never did, and played satellite ball with the neighborhood kids, and then 8th grade we played flag football. 9th grade was the first year I ever played ball, and
organized football. Wow!
Yeah, and I just did it because.
So you naturally gifted physically, then that's
correct.
That's what it was. Correct. All right, so after 9th grade, then you began football and whatnot, and became a running back. And your bio says you're a natural in football and was recruited early by local high schools, and you decided to go to Omaha Tech. Now, during your sophomore year, on the first day of practice, you were pulled off the sophomore football line and added to the varsity roster as a fullback. You see what I'm saying? Right off the bat, right?
Right.
Okay, now during the game, it says that you were asked to stand in for an injured offensive lineman. After his performance on the field, the coach realized what type of player that you were and what kind of heart that you had.
No, defensive lineman I went in for. I went for a defensive lineman.
Right, okay.
And the player that I was playing against was a guy named Sam Boot, about 6'6" and about 275. But I didn't back down from him.
Wow.
I stood right there and I went toe to toe, and I did some illegal things like slinging on him and stuff. But and then they snatched me out of the game. But it was just the point that the coach realized that I wasn't scared.
Absolutely. Okay. At a very early age too. Okay. Right. And a rookie sophomore, right?
Right.
All right. So you were asked to stand in, and that's when you inherited the nickname Heavy Horse. From that point. I
think that was after my junior year, because there was 3 or 4 games where I ran the ball and got hit right at the line of scrimmage. I didn't go down. The guy that tried to hit me went down.
I see.
And the guys in the back were like, what the hell is going on? And I did that 3 or 4 times in a row, and that's when the name came about.
I understood. Okay, correct this after I get through it, because I got a lot more to put on the table right now. So you got the name Heavy Horse. Tell us more about that. And then you were Player of the Week many times, a Player of the Year in 1967. We graduated the same year, 67.
Right.
And then All-American in 1967, and a runner-up in the state high and low hurdles. You led the state in triple jump, anchored the 400x4 and the 800x4 relay teams, and you still hold the 180 low hurdle record at Council Bluffs relay in track. Is that true? Still holding?
That's correct. Over 50 years, it still stands.
All right, so then you graduated from high school. I graduated from Central. You graduated from Tech. And then you went to Kansas State University. I asked you a little later. I want you to talk about what was that all about, man? We were trying to get.
Well, I went to Kansas State. See, my senior year, I was working for Dr. Brown at the Animal Hospital on 30th Street, across the street from Time Out.
You didn't work for Dr. Pittman out there on Down?
No. I worked with Dr. Johnson and Dr. Brown. Okay.
Right on.
They got me hip to it, and they introduced me as far as going to Kansas State. That's the reason why I went. So anybody thought that let me back up. See, I had no idea about Big Red football at all.
Wow.
Until my junior year in high school. Who the hell is Big Red Nebraska football? I wasn't even there. My senior year, Coach Ivani was coming to Tech High himself.
What?
A couple, maybe 3 weeks in a row to try to get me. I see Ivani, I go the other way because I wasn't about that. I was just trying to learn about life. Everybody else was focusing on the sports.
You're in good company. You know who else did that? Gail Sayers.
Yeah.
Gail went to Kansas, right?
Yeah.
And everybody said, what?
Yeah. No, man. And I got a little bit of heat behind it. but it's okay. It was like I want to do my own thing.
Sure.
When I got down to Kansas State, everything was cool and all that. Great student. I was on the dean list for three years in a row. And then, but this is the sad thing about Kansas State. When I finished there and I played pro ball, when I got through playing with pro ball, because I didn't get my degree at Kansas State. When I returned to Kansas.
Hold that point.
Okay. I got something for you on that.
You can correct these facts if I got them wrong. But anyway, you're talking about finishing Kansas State. At Kansas State, you continued your career as the fullback for the Wildcats, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then you had your best year in 1969, 1970, but then you withdrew from school your senior year due to a carbon monoxide poison accident, which changed you forever.
Changed everything. Changed my life.
Although you were not able to play your senior year, you were still drafted by the Los Angeles Rams in 1971.
That's correct.
And then you became a running back for the team. Unfortunately, your time with the Rams was short-lived due to an almost career-ending left knee injury.
Correct.
Now, all this is building up to who you became today because of all these experiences. But looking to bounce back, you signed a contract with Toronto Argonauts, only to be met with the same fate on the opposite knee, right?
Correct.
And so you had to retire. Now, after retiring from football, your life took a significant change from champagne to ginseng, from popping pain pills to chamomile tea, and then you went into antibiotics, from antibiotics to golden seal. It is written here. In 1974, you participated in the study groups at Tree of Life in Harlem, New York.
That's right.
You inspired a new direction. You attended the acupuncture college, chiropractic school, and 9 various herbal schools to drive your new self-discovery. You found your passion and direction in the mastery of cleansing and detoxification. In 1976, Russell Herbal Company, now known as Russell Herbals, was born and established.
Correct.
And now that you are a master herbalist, an iridologist, and founder of Russell Herbals, over 40 years of providing natural herbal remedies and teaching dietary lifestyle changes to your worldwide clients. In 2010, you were inducted into the Nebraska Sports Hall of Fame, and you've continually shared your wealth of knowledge in Nebraska and around the world. And over the years, you've traveled, you've studied, you've researched, and experimented using your groundbreaking discoveries to make a difference in your own health and to health of others for generations to come. Now that's the prepared bio that I just read. You filled in some details on that. So go back to, what was this carbon monoxide incident that?
Well, I had just returned from the East Coast and ran to some old buddies, and it was New Year's Eve, and they said it was a couple parties. I said, let's go to a couple parties. So we hit three or four parties in a row, and I'm full of it. I'm
Hold on, let me turn the recorder on. Okay, go ahead, continue. Sorry, go ahead.
So being a young man, and I party just as hard as like the rest of the guys party. Doing those times, but the problem happened was we hit 3 or 4 parties in a row, and I was mixing my drinks. And it was time to go home, put the date in the car. I got in the car and I started the car up. And that's the last thing I remember. So 4 or 5 hours later, I wake up, I'm in the hospital, man, with tubes everywhere. What? They told me that I had carbon monoxide and said that I had vomited. Something got back in my lungs. And the doctor that saved my life was Dr. Claude Organ. Never forget it. Brother, he explained the whole thing to me, and he said, Russell, you're going to bounce back. If your heart wasn't as strong as it was, you would be here.
Wow.
So 28 days in the hospital.
Well, did you have a car accident, or was it just?
No, I was parked in the car. I was overwhelmed by the fumes in the car that leaked back into the car.
Oh man.
It was snowing. It was
wintertime in Nebraska.
Wintertime, snow on the ground. We get in the car, start the car up, and I wait for the car to kind of warm up. I was full of alcohol, man, and just to pass out. But the thing is, I made it back from there. Everything went well. And but see, this is the thing. Nobody explained anything to me. Didn't have any kind of counseling. I go back to school, and all the teammates looking at me like I'm crazy and shit.
Yeah.
Everybody just treated me different, man. I mean, and I had to deal with all of that. Deal with all of that, plus try to
Psychologically as well, emotionally
so,
as well as physically.
So just going through that. But anyway, I got through it. And what really turned this whole thing around was when I went back to Kansas State after I finished pro ball. Now, this was before they passed this rule, said that any athlete that comes back, they have to allow them to come back and finish to get their career.
Wow.
I went back to Kansas State. Listen to this. They told me I would either have to pay full price or they didn't have nothing for me.
Whoa.
Now, a couple
you
years
were on a scholarship initially, right?
No. That was over. But any athlete that didn't finish,
understood,
should be allowed to come back to finish.
Got it.
They set them up with a job like an assistant coach or something like that to help pay for them to go to school.
You're right.
That wasn't offered to me. I came back to Omaha, tried to get loans at banks and stuff. They laughed at me, you know. So that's when the whole turn came to what is Russell really about? What am I made of? How do I really tick? Because all this stuff that I learned, it really didn't explain to me how I really tick. I started getting into health practices like yoga, deep breathing, and started doing some internal stuff and find out about different parts of the body and how it works.
Right.
And that's when the whole process started. When it started at the Tree of Life, I started trying as many different herbs as I could on my own to see what it did for me. And every single one of them worked exactly like the book said.
Wow.
Now, when we got into cleansing, I got into some more books that explain the importance of water. Now, the lack of water, check this out. They tell you in schools, we learn in schools, drink 8 glasses of water.
8 glasses of water, yeah.
If your bowels move once a day, you're healthy. How in the hell is that possible when you eat 3 meals a day now?
Yeah, right.
So there's always, every week you're holding 14 meals.
Wow.
14 every week. Every week. Now you start to multiply that times weeks and then months and then years. It's a lot of overload of waste in the different parts of the system, starting in the colon and then in the liver and then in the kidney, just working its way completely up until you choked.
So you're not eliminating that. You're not on a daily.
Eliminating. So instead of studying to treat ailments, I went to the cause.
Interesting. Back up and tell me about the Tree of Life in Harlem. Did you go back home?
Man, look, listen.
We're gonna talk about Harlem, but did you go back to Harlem to do that?
Yeah, I went back to Harlem. After the situation.
What year was that?
After the situation at Kansas State. I said, what the fuck am I gonna do? Let me go home and start over again. I went back to Harlem.
That's deep.
Went back, walked down 125th Street, ran into Phil Wise, who was playing ball with the Jets.
It was with the Jets at the time, right?
Yes.
What?
I see Phil Wise, we hug, we greet each other. And he had the order I did when I took him to the store, and he saw what I was doing. I met Dr. John Moore, who brought the whole thing up to earth to me. I walked into the store one evening, had on my badass Isaac Hayes shades and shit. And I go in and this guy talking, he got this film on, had these Africans, and they was eating worms and meal. I'm like, what the fuck is. And they was explaining the protein content and how beneficial it was.
Wow.
And the importance of eating live foods as opposed to dead foods. Right next door is the bookstore. I get through with him, I talk to him for a minute, I say, man, I'd like to come to your class. I ain't got no money. He said, brother, just come, you can help me clean up, whatever. I started doing that. Right next door was the book. Wait.
No, go ahead.
Right next door was the bookstore. I'll go in there and I'm getting books I've never seen in my life. I went into healing. Went into Egyptian stuff, all kinds of deep shit, man. I'm getting these books and now I'm starting to learn.
Okay, that is a good pivot point for my question, because what I wanted to get you to do earlier, when I first met you, you strolled in from Harlem in your vines and stuff. I said you was too cool for school. So I said, there, I've always been a visionary kind of cat. I've always seen beyond my particular environment, and I kind of had an idea of what I want to do in the future, but I wasn't specific about it. But whenever I saw new things, I said, man, I'm interested. Let me find out. To this day, I'm asking, we both the same age. What was the difference for you growing up in Harlem, which I eventually went back to New York and Brooklyn and Harlem and rediscovered for myself, and I'm in love to this day with New York. It's my spot, brother. So, and the reason is cultural reasons.
Oh yeah.
Awareness, knowledge. You just described a local shop in Harlem where you went and found all this knowledge.
Right.
I don't think I would ever have been able to show you any place like that in Omaha at that time, or even later. And the culture and the knowledge that's available from the community. You know what I'm saying? Speak on that. Speak on the difference, the culture shock that you may have experienced as a sixth grader coming to Omaha, Nebraska. And as you say, we're all in overall.
Man,
we call them overhaul.
I was like so ahead of my time with the things that I have done compared to the brothers that was there. And I mean, a couple of times, a couple of friends of mine, I mean, when I got there, they were talking about doing some stuff like stealing hubcaps. I'm saying, what you talking about stealing hubcaps?
Right.
What you talking about? Steal the whole goddamn car if you go steal something. Fucking hubcaps.
If you're gonna take some penitentiary chances, steal the whole car.
Come on, man. No, but I veered away from that because I saw that they didn't have their shit together enough to even deal with that. So I'm not even going down that road. The only trouble I got into, we was young, we was riding bicycles, and we bought eggs. They could get eggs for 29 cents a dozen. You going around getting a dozen eggs, just throwing in people's faces.
Yeah, because
drive past them and splash. Anyway, got down around
the eggs was hatched down the road, dog. We had plenty of eggs and beef and ham.
I'm trying to tell you. So went down the car, did the same thing, looked up, and there was the police.
Oh.
Jumped on our bicycle, took off across the grass, and the weed was too high. You can't even ride through there. Jumped off the bicycle running.
Oh.
Our number was on the bicycle. So we was busted. By the time I got home, police was at my house waiting for me. Wow. Apparently they had talked to my mom. My mom told them to take my ass on down, trying to put me in jail to show me something.
Absolutely.
Bro, took me down and put me in the cell.
Wow. How old were you?
Oh, shit.
10, 11, 12?
13 years old.
Okay, so that's seventh grade, man.
When he brought me back home, he had to worry about me getting involved in that no more. That was it. So I could either do this. I can get in trouble with the dudes, or I can get involved in sports. Sports was more fun. I had more friends doing that. We were working as a little unit. I had a few friends that I was working out with: Stephen Oliver, Mike Luker, cats like that.
Stephen Oliver, what?
Man, come on, man. Good guys, man. And we were dedicated.
What did he come from a long line of wrestlers, didn't he?
Yeah.
Stephen Oliver was beating your ass in 48 seconds.
Come on, Stephen Oliver, man.
Because we wrestled, me and my brother Jimmy at Central,
right.
and even in sixth grade at YMCA under Gilmore. Gilmore, remember Bob Gilmore and his brother?
Yeah, for sure.
Gary and them cats. I was state champion in the sixth grade, man.
There you go.
Wrestling, I'd pin you, boy. But listen, let me ask you this. How did you end up coming to Omaha in the first place? What, your mom and dad, were they military or what?
No, man, no military. No, my family is from, my mom had a sister that lived in Omaha, a couple of sisters, and she just had family there. So the drug scene got a little bit too heavy in Harlem.
Got it.
And we decided to get the hell out of there because the heroin was coming around there very, very thick. And man, I left like maybe 35 friends.
Wow.
35 friends. I mean, we hang out as a group. When we go back, if you can imagine 35 dudes on bicycles going for a bike ride.
Sure.
And I mean, it didn't dawn on me that we was leaving until the day that we was leaving. We got in the car and all my boys were standing right there. I'm like, God damn, I can see these dudes no more.
Wow.
And that was it, man.
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade, jumped on the Greyhound bus and brought our ass to Omaha, Nebraska.
I'm only sharing this because we're talking hometown now, but you know who else had a similar thing? Greg Granby. You remember?
That's right.
Greg?
Yeah, because Greg is from Philly.
Philly, exactly. Same thing.
His
dad and mom, I think, were military, off at Air Force Base.
Right.
Black folks couldn't live on the base. He had to live in the
I know.
And so he could walk
Crazy,
to
man.
Tech. That's why he went to Tech from horseman, I believe.
Yeah.
They had a house up there. But that's just interesting story about coming through Nebraska. Because I went back after 52 years in this business, and I never finished college, man, because I was a sophomore, first semester sophomore, and they killed Vivian Strong.
Right.
And we burnt down the community, and they said we better get some black folks on TV.
As soon as
Harold
possible.
Dow called me and said, "Man, you need to come down and take an audition. They want some more brothers." He was the first black in Nebraska to be on Nebraska TV. I came a year later. I was the first to anchor a regular newscast, but he turned me on. I went down an audition. I could read that teleprompter well, or with scripts back in them days, no teleprompter. And they said, "You hired me on the spot." And the rest is history, man.
Right.
So if it wasn't for opportunities, who knows what would have happened even to me and my family. We were black community people. So you had that experience. Yours would have been different had you stayed in New York, clearly, right?
Yeah, it could have been a lot. I don't know what. I think the move was one of the best things for us.
Sure, you're right.
Because I was always working. I had a job since the third grade. Man, I had jobs in grocery stores and
in New York, though. Yeah, right.
New York, man, just hustling. Man.
That's the point I wanted to make about the community, the difference in the community. Y'all had unity, man, and it was a city life, so there were opportunities, shops, and other cases. You got this education. That's neat.
Yeah.
Okay, Tree of Life. Okay, so you got your schooling. I mentioned what, 9 chiropractor and acupuncture. Ain't that deep? So now you're talking about some Asian stuff over here. What I'm talking about over here, baby.
Gotta get the balance. Gotta get the yin and the yang, brother.
You got to get the yin and the yang, baby. It's deep. So look, let's jump into the business. Russell Herbals. You changed your name. Now it's
it's the same. Russell Herbals.
Russell Herbals. Okay. And I've been following you. In fact, you were kind enough to send me some product when I was overweight and high cholesterol and high blood pressure and all this, and you really helped me. I had medication I was on that I had to kind of blend the balance, but it worked. I'm a witness that your product is work. So what works? So what would be your number one formula that kind of put you in the game, and how did you come by? You are mixing herbal medicines and stuff, blending?
See, like I said, one of the most important things that I read coming up was a book on water.
Water.
And it talked about the importance of water.
Okay.
And it talked about what lack of water does. Then it went back to that 8 glasses of water thing that I talked about.
Yeah.
And the 3 meals a day, which means your bowels cannot be clean if you're drinking 8 glasses of water and you're eating 3 meals a day. So I knew that was a worldwide. If everybody doing it, well, at least in the States, the whole United States is constipated as hell.
Oh, gotta be, yeah.
And if you clogged up down here, brother, you also clogged up here.
Absolutely.
So that's the beginning of what I call the beginning of all of the health issues. It's what I call the obstructive sewer system.
Wow.
You have 30 foot from your mouth to your rectum. That's a long way that food needs to travel.
Yeah.
Now, if the food that you're eating is dry, like cooked food, bread, fried food, it's hard for it to go through your system.
Right.
All forms of animals eat food that contain water. Even the ones that contain the meat. If they eat the meat, they eat meat raw. The fluids in that helps them go through. If you eat something like dried potato chips, bread, all that kind of thing is dry. You can't saturate yourself enough to get into that mixture to go through your system 3 times a day.
Make that flow. Yeah, right.
Right. Okay. So when you get a backlog of this going on, it starts in the colon, and now it's working its way up. Then it gets into the biggest filter that you have, which is the liver.
Okay.
Also the kidneys, the lymphatic system. Now your blood starts getting dirty. If it's dirty, it's getting thick. If it's getting thick, it can't really travel through your system properly, can it?
And cannot carry oxygen.
Correct. So with these things going on, all I developed was herbs to undo all of that. Not treating any symptoms, because that's not what I do.
Okay.
If you got a headache, we don't talk about the head. We talk about what causes it. That's where I go. So I worked out methods now to eliminate waste from all the different parts of the body. And besides that, putting them on the proper foods that correspond in that area of the system to enhance the development of proper health to come back.
So what would your consultation be like if somebody just walked up the street, they were recommended to you, you call them in, you have a consultation? What do? First ask what their problem is, or you look at them, you assess?
Well, I can basically look at somebody and tell what's wrong. If the way they move, the way they walk, the way they stand, I can look at them and tell what's wrong. I can look at the color of their eyes, I can look at their skin, I can tell what's wrong with them because it just shows all the impactation of the system brings about a result of how you look and feel.
Now, in your introduction, I used the word iridology, but I had to go to Google and look it up, and as a journalist do. If I'm not going to talk about nothing I don't know, understand. Iridology is an interesting science, my brother, and explain to people what the iridology, the word comes from the term iris.
Correct.
All right.
So basically,
I've never heard of it, man. But
okay, very simple process. Like you have nerve endings in your hand,
sure,
bottom of your feet, on your ears as well, as you know, also in the iris of the eyes. It's read like a clock. From 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. is the brain area. 1 a.m. to 2 areas, the face and jaw. 2 to 3 is the heart and lungs. 4 o'clock is the arm. 6 o'clock is the legs. 5 o'clock is the sex organs. 6 o'clock is the leg. 7 o'clock, kidneys. 8 o'clock, the liver. 9 o'clock on the other side, lungs. So you see the pupil that's in the middle, the black spot.
Yeah.
If you look very closely inside, you see 2 circles that surround that. The first circle is the circle of the stomach. The second one is the circle of the large intestines or the colon. That should be a perfectly round circle. Check this out. Wherever the circle breaks, it points right to the area that is affected. When I look in the eyes, I can see the various colors in there. That lets me know how congested with toxins that area is.
Wow.
It gives me an understanding of how strong or how weak the herbs that I asked me to use are given. But everything starts with eliminate all of the waste down here in the bottom, because that's where all of the process starts. With the mucus that the foods cause it slows your bowels down. It's like glue. And when I started preparing these products that I made, I had to think how we eat. We eat too much in the wrong foods. I had to make something strong enough to move concrete out of it. And I'm just being real.
Bricks off in you.
Because if they're eating and they're not drinking water, it dries up in the system.
Sure, man.
And if it dries, it
sticks and coats the colon.
Yeah, correct. So I have formulas that breaks all that up now. And when your bowels start moving properly like they should, you automatically feel better because you are releasing the cause now.
Let me put this appropriately for all viewers. But when you sent me the bowel cleaner, man, I look back and I couldn't believe what had come out of my body.
Oh, it shocks you. It shocks you.
You hear me? I know you know, but
I've
also heard from other people, friends of ours back in Omaha and around, who testified to the same thing. Man, I couldn't believe it. Talking about
But see, the thing is, when you eliminate that, now you also eliminate the so-called health problems that men have: high blood pressure, diabetes, prostate. Because we're eliminating the waste in there that causes.
The toxins, right? Detoxification. That's one of your strong
suits. All it is.
Huh?
Because the body heals itself. I don't cure anything. I can't.
Right.
I'm just a man.
Yeah. And for business and other ethical reasons, you don't claim to, right?
I don't claim to. No. This is the lifestyle that I picked up that worked for me. I'm just spreading the word as far as how it works. You can try it if you want. If you don't, that's fine too. But it works for me, and I've never had any kind of issue like high blood pressure, diabetes. I don't know what that is. Don't know what it is. Yeah, and plan never to understand what it is because, again, I'm not on that diet that causes that.
Sure, you're right.
And as we go through a cleanse, you're going to change your ways. You're going to change your ways. And as you change your ways, you're going to become more and more enlightened. It's going to open up that brain even better.
All right. Let's transition here in the interest of time. let's talk about your clientele. People will call you. Your referrals come from all kind of other people who've done business with you. But what I've noticed just by watching your postings and on your page, you kind of a celebrity. You like the best kept secret in Hollywood, as it said.
Well,
Tell me about some of your celebrity clients that you can share with us without intervening with
I'm not
the
gonna get
privacy
into.
issues.
Well, because I take privacy, but there's a couple people that I work with, like Stevie
Hey,
Wonder.
of course, I've seen pictures with you and Stevie.
Stevie.
Now that's my guy. I've been rolling with Stevie
Yeah,
for
yeah.
years, from KJLH and even into Japan. He'll come and call me, say, "Man, you coming to the show?" I said, "Me plus three, brother. You know the deal."
Yeah,
So, that's my brother. But I saw him in your shop, and I said, "Oh, I'm not surprised."
But I work with just about everybody. Stanley Clark, George Duke, Stevie, Coretta Scott King, the late Coretta Scott King. I work with a lot of people.
Wow.
A lot of people. But my main friend here.
We're talking 45 years. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about Pharoah Sanders.
My man.
Now, how did that relationship start?
This is how I work with Pharoah. I've always.
Let me ask you this first of all: is he California based?
Yeah, he still lives here.
Where?
Yeah, in California. He's still there.
In LA.
LA area.
Cool.
Yeah. So about maybe 20 years ago, I had a call in Sacramento. The lady had some serious health issues, and it was on my birthday. I wasn't doing nothing on my birthday, so I said, I'm driving to Sacramento to see this lady, see what's wrong with her. Took the herbs up and got her started.
Wow.
And my brother Alan was living in Sacramento at the time, so we spoke, and he said, Russell, Pharoah is playing in Oakland. I said, man, we got to go.
Right.
So we go to the club, and they had just got through with a set. Pharoah walked off, and I'm not the kind of person that will just approach somebody. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Because remember back in the day, I had a problem with stuttering. So yeah. So the drummer came out, and he was mingling with the crowd, and I went over to him. I said, hey man, will you do me a favor? Will you give my card to Pharoah? And he said, no, go knock on the door. Pharoah will talk to you. He's not like that. He's cool dude. I said, really? So I go back, knocked on the door, heart beating fast and shit. Walked in, he said, come on in. I came in, introduced myself. He said, sit down. We started talking. Both of us started stuttering.
Oh, man.
He picked up on it. He said, brother, you stutter? I said, yeah. He said, so do I. He said, nah, people get that mixed up, but you don't know. Did you know that you was a genius? He said, your brain is so active, man, that sometimes it go too damn fast.
It's ahead of itself.
Yeah, man. So I told him that, I've been listening to his music for a long time. My mom, I played it. He said, what's the favorite song? And I told him, he's like, what? So I said, I'm looking at your health. You don't look healthy to me, Pharoah.
Whoa, just like that.
I want to help you. So he said, did you bring it with you? I said, no, I didn't. I didn't bring it, but if we can exchange numbers, I'll do that. So we exchanged numbers, said our goodbyes. When I came back to LA, he was playing in LA.
Wow.
He was playing in LA. So I went down the last night to see him, put all of his herbs in a brown paper bag, went down, sat down on the front row. He came out to play, and Pharoah started playing. He kept looking at me. He recognized who I was, and he just stopped. He told the group, keep on going. Come on, let's go back to the back and talk. Went back to the back, and I had the bag. He said, what was this? I said, this is a bag. He looked at all these herbs. He looked in his face. He said, look, man, look here. I got to go to Europe next week. I'm going to take these herbs with me. I'll contact you. 3 days later, he called me and said, Russell, what's in this?
Wow.
I can't believe this. He said, you charged me whatever. Then he gave me like 3 times what it was even worth.
Sure.
He said, just keep the money, man. We in the groove. So he did that. 3 months later, he came back to LA to play again. He was sick. Russell, I don't know if I can play. I had him do an emergency liver flush. And he passed gallstones the next day. He was able to play. And I gave him a couple of times. One he played the whole set, never stopped.
Wow.
So we became like that after that, man. So we come into town. I pick him up, go to the club. Everything's good. So and then he invited me to his place in New York. I flew back to eat, turned me on to all the people there. Man, that's man, one of the sweetest, most down to earth brothers in the world, man. So
It
we
seems like it, man. I've seen,
yeah, man, just
I've seen some interview YouTube stuff on him, you know.
yeah. So I said, Pharaoh, can you teach me how to play the horn? He said, yeah, get a horn. I got a horn. So he's been showing me a few things.
Ah, look at this, boy.
The first saxophone horn, the first saxophone I got, I came in and he looked at the horn. He said, Russell, you can't. He said, this is a beginner's horn. You're not gonna be able to do nothing with this. Wow. Take it back and get something.
Get a real
like
horn.
I said, one of the sweetest guys, one of the most man.
So are you still playing? You practice?
No, man. I got the horn, but brother, that's dedication. I'm teaching my 6 hours a day. You know, I gotta do my herbs, you know.
I understand.
I still may get involved a little bit later on, but right now I'm just too.
Well, let me school you. I picked up the piano about 15 years ago.
I know.
I'm self-taught, brother.
I know.
And it's a therapy. Because when I had my stroke, this whole left side was gone, bro. Right. I'm in the hospital and they had a piano down in the rehab room, and I told the doctor, I said, man, let me get on that, because my left hand, you know, that's the one in the rhythm. You know, I got to have that one. He said, man, that would be a good idea. I started playing the piano in the hospital, and you could hear it all over the hospital.
Wow.
And then, you know, I was upright, and I'm back to where I can play. I'll play now. And I always preface my stuff. I ain't no shame in my game. I ain't scared of y'all. I'm doing this for me.
There you go. That's the whole thing.
And what I feel and what I can I'm a communicator, so I can communicate through a song or a feeling or a rhythm, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's the most beautiful thing right now in our age at this time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Are you kidding me, man? Come on.
All it is, you're elevating, brother.
Yeah,
elevating. I mean, I laugh at these old guys still hanging at the club trying to fuck these young girls like they crazy. It's time for them to elevate. I'm serious, elevate, and because there's another path we got to go after this, man.
Absolutely.
So it's a preparation for that. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
Boy, that's interesting philosophy, my brother. Very interesting. And I know it's connected to your herbals and your healing. You know what I'm saying?
But like I said,
how can it not be? You've got to have that whole. It's a holistic approach, right?
For sure.
Speak on that for our people who may not be aware about life, living, continue to live, personality, good fortune, all this stuff. I'm in an Asian country, man. We already know. I live this every day, and look at these tea fields and how beautiful everything is, and visual, and the air I'm breathing and stuff. But speak on that, what you've learned about the holistic approach to living this life.
Well, the whole thing is being.
I'm getting philosophical now, but go ahead. I know you got it.
No, it's easy. Just being sincere with yourself. If you're sincere with yourself about what you do, you're going to make anything that you do. But if you lie and you front and you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, it's not going to work. You have to be honest with yourself first and foremost, understanding the truth, and then getting involved with that truth and sticking to that truth. If you waver, you're doomed. We all been taught the wrong way to live here. The wrong foods. I mean, even athletes, they got us preparing our bodies. We play a game. At the end of the game, we party on poison.
Sure.
Now, you do that week after week after week, and they don't say this. You build up toxins in your liver. Your career is short. Mm-hmm. Everything that they have us partying on is poison.
Touch on that and touch on
like alcohol, for instance. I know alcohol, for instance. Like alcohol. So on every bottle of alcohol, they don't even tell you the ingredients of it.
Yeah, it's poison. Yeah, but I noticed in your bio you mentioned something about the stuff they don't tell you in professional football or even in sports, particularly being African American.
You are used, and when you get done, they throw your ass away, and they don't want to hear from you no more. Bottom line. So that's when I stopped playing ball. I turned my back on all of that.
Wow.
I don't even watch. I stopped watching football years ago. That's no longer part. That was just a phase of my life. You understand? To allow me to get to where I am now. All those things I did in the past prepare me for who I am now. I'm not about that football shit anymore. That's just dead and gone. That was just a phase in my life. You go through that and you keep growing and understanding how to become a better man.
I understood. Character building.
And that's incorporating the truth within yourself, practicing what you need to practice, keep yourself clean, staying away from all of the bullshit, the TV shit that's going to have your mind confused. Just sticking with the truth within yourself. Protecting your family, sharing that information with those that you love, and hope that they can hear what you're coming from. Because every time I came back to Omaha, Even back in the day, I tried to tell them brothers, back off that pig, man. Y'all eat barbecue and shit. If you eat it, clean it out your system. And from y'all trying to tell it that, they ain't here no more. They gone. They dead.
Okay. One last point on this tip about information is key, right? You keep saying knowing yourself and being true to yourself, but how do you acquire the knowledge about yourself? So you have to be schooled, or you got to study like you did and find out your physiognomy and understand it from a scientific standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The confusion of science, the institutionalized oppression of science, big pharma. Talk about the current days and times. You know, in the scriptures we read about the plague, but we got the pandemic going on right now. COVID-19, how does that bounce off your knowledge, your service, your business, your life, and the way the information is being misapplied, confused, and
I don't
get yourself into no trouble.
No, I'm not getting into no trouble because it's not what it's about. But when you say big pharma, you're talking French to me.
Talking what?
Language. You're talking French to me.
I understand.
French. You're talking a foreign language. I don't get involved with that. I'm so involved with detoxification, doing things the right way. I don't claim to cure anything. That keeps me out of the realm because I know I can cure. I don't do that because I can't. The body heals itself.
Sure.
All I'm doing is giving it a chance to function at its highest level now without the clogging of the system that prevents that from happening. That's all I'm doing. The body heals itself, but you got to give it what it needs in order for that to happen. You can't keep eating pizzas and burgers and think it's going to happen. You can't eat McDonald's every day and think that's going to happen.
Sure. Okay, with this virus, the COVID and stuff, the way it's taking over the globe and causing all these infections and immunity issues and stuff, does that play into your services in terms of providing?
I have antiviral and anti-plague products. I've had those things for more than 50 years. It's only a form of a flu.
Understood.
So again, it's about detoxifying the system, getting them on the proper foods that boost the immune system, and as long as they stay true to that, they're fine. But if you incorporate bad foods, alcohol, things that slow the system down, that cause you to those toxins to remain in your system, you're more apt to get these things.
All right. I've checked your homepage.
Just like any other form of health issue, the same thing. Right. But if you're doing what you need to do, when you keep yourself clean, you create an aura.
Absolutely.
And that's your protection. It's like a wall. It's like a shield of armor to protect you from all of that. But it starts inside of you, not from outside. It starts inside. So the cleaner you keep your insides, the better you are protected.
Very interesting. Now, let's talk business a little bit here. You've got a great web page, a website. How can people contact you and learn more about your products? What's the address?
www.russellherbals.com. Now, I'm going to soon be building a new site, so that's going to be coming up. Right. You can hit me on my email address at russellherbalco@gmail.com. You can call me direct, 323-474-5099. Set up appointment. I'm by appointment only, so it's not like a regular shop you can just walk into. I'm a very private person. One-on-one is my best thing because it allows us to see each other eye to eye and feel each other out and see where each other's coming from.
Sure.
And I'm like an open book. I'll share as much information that you need, that you want. And if you apply it, it just works. And I'm living proof of it because this is what I've done. I put it into myself and I see how it has affected my life and the kinds of things that I can still do at the age that I am.
All right, when this video is over, it's being recorded, but I'll post-produce and put that stuff up, the links that people can find you on. And before we go to our rapid-fire stream of consciousness game, so I can peep you, I'm going to ask you questions, and you give me a one-word or one sentence, preferably one-word response when I say what I'm going to say. And you've seen this game play, but I'm looking forward to taking you there and see what it is. But so fine, let me hear. Now I've prepared some questions. First thing is, now it's rapid fire, so we're gonna boom, boom, boom. You don't take time to think a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I'm gonna shoot him at you.
Give me off the top. Okay, it's rapid fire. Number one, Omaha, Nebraska.
I love the place, man. I'm glad I got there. It has its ups and downs, but great people, and it's where the family is now. So I gotta love it.
All right. Iridology.
Window to your soul. It shows me everything I need to know.
Texting or talking?
Rather talk.
Favorite day of the week?
Sunday.
Favorite city in the United States besides the one you're living in now?
Oh, shit. San Diego.
Oh, interesting. Nickname your parents used to call you?
Didn't have one. Just call me Russell.
Okay. The last song that you downloaded?
Pharoah Sanders, what's the thing up there? Floating Points, Pharoah Sanders.
Wow, okay. I have to check that out. All right. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
I've been talking to animals, but I like to speak
I knew you was gonna say
languages
that.
now. I talked to animals for a long time in my life, bro.
And they talk to you too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'll get into that later.
Cause since I was a kid, I was always watching how animals do their thing, and we also and we still animals now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Favorite holiday?
My birthday.
Okay, August
12th.
12th.
Born 12 minutes after 12 on the 12th.
Interesting. Okay.
Very much so.
Means something. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
10.
10.
Great driver.
Okay. Next. Deep sea fishing.
Oh shit. Come on, man. That's me. That's my way of relaxation. Brother, I gotta have it every year.
I've seen the photos. That's why I put it.
Yeah, I gotta get away.
So where do you go off? San Diego, out in the ocean on a
Yeah, I go out for 8 days at a time, man.
What?
Yeah. Get a chance to get away and just chill out. And
so you got a crew. You got a crew you usually go with, some cats you roll with, or is that?
Yeah, you know, it's different groups and different boats out time to time. You know?
Okay, fill in the blank.
Okay.
Terrence Bud Crawford is
my man, the baddest boxing dude in the world. I came to Omaha and met him, a wonderful person, and I want to work with him one day.
Pound for pound.
Pound for pound, the baddest motherfucker out there.
The planet. I got the contributor. I went to his camp hoping to meet him. I was gonna put a mic on him. You know me.
Yeah.
Man. I tried to stake him out.
Cold,
he was in Colorado. He was in Colorado preparing for this November fight. And
yeah, training. Yeah,
that's gonna be something.
Oh man, it's gonna be
to buy that fight, man.
Bro, I wish I could be there. Sean Porter's getting knocked. Look out!
I don't give him more than 5-6 rounds.
I'm trying to tell you, gonna knock him the fuck out
on purpose.
On purpose,
just to show you, because they're doubting him. And
yeah, they've been dogging him. They've been dogging him out. But you know how it is. The athlete's from Omaha.
But he's so cool. I'm dying.
He ain't no joke.
He ain't joking, man. And I'm dying to interview him because I like his demeanor, his attitude.
Oh man, I love him. I love him.
He's very, very cool, man. He ain't all about no hype.
No, man. I got a bunch of shirts of his. You know, when I went back and when I went when I was there.
I knew that one was going to excite you. I just knew your reaction.
No, man, and we back there for Omaha days. I went down to this place to buy some shit, but his place was closed up. So I got to wait till we get there again so I get some hoodies and some good shit from him, you know.
His brother's got a joint down on 24th and Spalding somewhere down there. Did you know that?
No, I just saw his place where he had his sweats and everything.
Yeah. He's doing well. He's doing okay. I figured you know that. Yeah, that's,
I love the guy,
November or something. He's going down.
Brother, come on, man.
Sir. Omaha's own, baby.
I'm trying to tell you.
All right. This is a funny one. So if it's wrong for a vegetarian to eat meat, is it okay for them to eat animal crackers?
Animal crackers? Yeah, as long as they're gluten free and not wheat.
Okay. I just threw that one in. I knew you did.
Animal crackers, cookies.
What does a person need to be happy?
Balance.
Hmm?
Balance.
Balance.
Balance. Balance meaning
Physically, what does it mean?
I think if they just throw away all the bullshit and be honest.
Okay.
Because if you're dishonest, you can't be happy. Because you got to cover up some shit. So I'm just real. So I mean, if you're honest about everything and you're sincere and you respect people, why aren't you happy?
Okay. Next question. Russell Herbalist Company.
Mm-hmm. The strongest, purest products on the market that just work.
The best kept secret in Hollywood.
You're talking to them.
Okay.
You're talking to them.
Now here's the final one for you. Brother Malcolm in Japan.
Brother Mountain, brother, I've loved you from the first time we met. You've been a professional. I love that about you. We talked about our life experiences along the same lines.
Yeah.
Malcolm, you always been a straight up guy, and I can't say enough about you, man.
Yeah, man. You know, I threw that one in. I'm fishing for compliments. So good job. You did good.
Oh man, brother, you got them all. You got to worry about me. You know it's all good, man.
I'm trying to promote the show. You did, yes.
Come on, man.
That's why I got you on. I know we're gonna get hits.
Yeah, man, shoot.
Love you, brother. I can't tell you, man.
Hey.
I invite you. I thank you for being on, and thank you for bringing that knowledge. And please don't make this the last time. I want you to be a regular contributor to the series, my brother. And I'll come back.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing the series, and I hope
absolutely. And trust me, bring in your. I know you got a crew with you. Man, that right there. Introduce that young man. Look at him.
Hey, how you doing, brother? This is Alan Wilson. Alan Wilson. He's
Alan
my
Wilson.
nephew. He's Vernon's brother. I mean, Vernon's son.
Wow.
Vernon is my brother. Vernon's has a son.
That's your older brother, younger brother?
Younger brother.
Vernon is your younger brother.
Right. And then I have another brother named Alan. Vernon and Alan. Right. This is Vernon's son. He's been out here for quite a few years. I've been like his stepdad or whatever. And he's been working with me for the past couple of years. Been a great thing for the company. And he's been taking all of the courses that I teach, because I teach an 8-week course as well.
Alan,
so you can.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been with your uncle?
Shit, 20-some years.
Okay, see, Russell, this is crazy. You know, my nephew, Mike Adams, been with me 30 years. Still got a house down the road.
Right.
Got two college graduate children, a beautiful family.
I just saw him there, man, back home.
He told me, yeah. And same thing. So we're reaching back and getting family. It's all about the next generation, man. And
yeah, see.
You got any grandchildren yet?
I got 2 grandkids, man. No, man, I reached the point about 5 years ago when I said to myself, whatever's going on with the family, I'm dropping it. I'm coming home. We go forgive all of the bullshit that happened. Yeah. We go start loving each other. Yeah, I'm gonna come home and we gonna start having some fun with this shit.
Right. That's a beautiful.
So that's all I've been doing, man.
I've just started that in my own right, going back to Omaha. But I got 6 grands in
okay.
I'm gonna tell my son-in-law, Japanese boy, my first daughter. I raised them in Japan. They were born at Cedar Sinai. The first 2 older girls, Cedar Sinai. Then I went to Japan. Their mama's Japanese. I raised them up over here, sent them back home. Now one's in Tustin, and the other one's in Torrance.
Okay.
In the old Japanese community there. Their first language is Japanese, but of course they're bilingual. And now my first daughter, I got a 19-year-old grandson.
Wow.
Named Rikanosuke Malcolm Suzuki.
There you go.
Who does that, right?
Hey, that's great, man.
I'm telling you, man. So it's all about Alan and his kind and his kids down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
keep representing, man. I love you, brother. And let's cut it off here. I'll post-produce this and share the video with you on YouTube. And
Okay.
let's do it again, man. Appreciate
Sir,
it.
for sure. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
man, for having me.
All
I
right.
appreciate
Go
you,
ahead.
brother.
You can go ahead and sign off there. I'll stop
All
the
right.
video. And
Thank you, brother.
I'll call
Take
you
care.
back later and we'll kick it.
Okay, brother. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of Japan Journal. I'm your host, Mal Adams, here coming to from beautiful downtown Kakiao City in the west side of Shizuoka Prefecture here on Japan Journal and the Rapid About It episode with yours truly, Mal Adams. Today's guest, Russell Harrison, a longtime homeboy of mine and an herbologist specialist. And we'll post all of his information to you on our Facebook page. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next episode of Rap About It with Mal Adams. Good day.
Japan Journal, the Internet's #1 English language weekly online cybercast from Japan. Japan Journal with Mal Adams.
Rap About It with Mal Adams. Each week, Rap About It focuses on a key issue concerning American minorities. This series also explores current and topical news events in an effort to bring into sharper focus the implications of these events for the minority community. And now your host, Mal Adams.